Cummins PowerPods, 60 years of powering India.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of Cummins PowerPods, a brand new series where we are celebrating 6 incredible decades of Cummins in India. I'm your host, Neerja, and I'm taking you on this journey of engaging with our leaders and also the wonderful people in our communities. It's a very wholesome time indeed. Now, what is the focus on today's episode? Who is in the spotlight? Well, today we talk about the very noteworthy contribution of the Cummins College of Engineering for Women in Pune, an illustrious educational institute which was established by Cummins in 1991 to empower girls to pursue path-breaking careers in engineering and technology. That's incredible, right? And this also made CCEW the first all-women college in India, which is really a testament to Cummins' visionary thinking and future focus. Now, here's a little something about CCEW. It is managed by its parent institute, Maharshi Karve Stree Shiksha Samstha, which is an institute that has been dedicated to bringing education to the young girls of our country for more than 100 years. Now, there's so much to be covered about CCEW and its strong bond with Cummins India, and we have not one, but 2 very special guests on today's episode. Let's find out who they are.
In conversation with our CCEW family.
As we revel in this 60-year milestone at Cummins India, I think it's only wise to believe that this podcast is going to be very special every single time. Now, our legacy means a lot to us, and it wouldn't be complete. Our Cummins family wouldn't be complete without our guests today. From the Cummins College of Engineering for Women, please welcome the principal, Professor Dr. Madhuri Khambete, and Professor Dr. PVS Shastry, both of whom are here to add a whole lot of color to this celebratory occasion. Dr. Khambete, Dr. Shastry, a nice, warm Cummins PowerPods. Welcome to you both. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good morning to all.
Thank you and congratulations to Cummins on completion of 60 years powerful journey.
Thank you for that message. There's something very, very unique and very special about what Cummins is doing with regard to higher education. And I think there's no 2 better individuals to be having this conversation with. Dr. Khambete, I have the first question coming to you. CCEW started back in 1991, right? And this was a time when STEM wasn't really considered as a study choice for women. So what was the vision of CCEW at the time of inception?
Yeah, as you said rightly, the STEM was not the first choice, or specifically if I say about the engineering, very few women were there at that time in engineering profession.
Yeah.
And therefore the choice of education in engineering, that was also very few girls, they were aspiring for this. So that time engineering college specifically for women or for girls, the thought was establishing the college which is only for women, providing engineering education, so that the percentage of girls that would increase in engineering, and ultimately that would be the contribution from women coming to engineering.
That's such a lovely step taken by this first all-women college in India, because how important is it as a woman to know your options? And it's clear that even being educated about education is very important. Now, Dr. Shastry, since we're talking about milestones here, let's talk about how CCEW just completed 31 years. And Cummins, of course, is celebrating its 60th year in India, which is amazing. And we take such pride in having this sort of relationship with one another. How do you think Cummins has gone above and beyond in adding value to CCEW?
As Dr. Khambete mentioned, that we started higher education in MKSSS, that is Maharshi Karve Stree Samstha, in 1990. Mm-hmm. And Cummins College started in 1991. So if you look at the history of nearly 100 years, we were only in the school education. And this might be one of the challenging project we have taken over in 1991 to start with the Cummins College. And since then, Cummins company as such has helped a lot, not only in the financial, but in a look at the 30 years of our partnership, or you can say the friendship and the collaboration. And every time a new project is coming up between us. So it is not that one time it has started and something is going on, rolling on to that, but rather we had a very good support from the Cummins team to new projects. Sometimes the Cummins company has suggested very good innovative projects to take up, and Cummins College and MKSSS per se has followed it, and we have been successful in that. So I think this 60th year of Cummins company obviously is a great milestone for Cummins company, and for us also the 31 years of our partnership and the friendship. And I think we are not just only working on to education, but also in other social aspects also the Cummins is helping us, the MKSS. So this partnership is really a very good success story for others to follow.
That's lovely. It sounds like a very mutually productive and proactive association. Dr. Khambete, we hear the word diversity quite a bit now, especially. But what's interesting is more than talking about it, I think Cummins has always been leading by example, always been championing diversity. And in fact, it's clear because that was the fundamental reason for creating CCEW, right? So how would you say this relationship has evolved in this regard between the two institutes over the past 3 decades?
Yeah, as you rightly said that the Cummins is champion in diversity. Similarly, as you consider, most of the time we talk about the gender diversity, but it's not only the gender diversity that is important, but social diversity that also we need to understand when we are imparting the education. Yeah. So definitely the Cummins College has given the opportunity to women for engineering education, but we also consider that this should not be limited to the girls coming from well-educated or socially upward strata. But we thought that this opportunity should be open to the girls coming from rural background or economically weaker section. And therefore, always it was a motive and the objective of the college to provide the education to all such talented students coming from diverse background, culturally, socially, and considering this, college always consider the different initiatives to make them ready for industry. Considering their background, we run different programs. Maybe that may be the improvement in their soft skill and other skill, so that all they will be at par and they would be successful in the engineering profession. So this diversity, considering the talents, considering the backgrounds, all this we do consider, and college strives to make them ready for their better future.
That's fantastic. And Dr. Shastry, how do you feel about these underlying values that the two institutes share when it comes to diversity? Do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, sure. As we've been saying, Maharshi Karve Samstha has a 127 years of working in the field of education and empowering women. And right from beginning, when we started with the Cummins College and the help from the Cummins company and all the management of Cummins from US to all the countries, they visited many times to our campuses. And every time this has come into forefront that the values and the importance that we normally give are more or almost same. Like we look at the quality, and we always believe on to be honest into the services that you are providing it or imparting it. I think in that either these two terms we are very much good, and Cummins is also very good at that as per what we have been seeing with them, working with them closely. Particularly certain people from management are also very much helpful. So there was no difference that when I am talking to whom I am talking to, whom, no difference in the levels or anything. We could have a direct call with Teams also or someone like that at that time. So that openness, I think, is very much interesting and has given a lot of energy to our relationship.
Absolutely. It says a lot about the culture as well. And Dr. Khambete, that brings me to this question. I'd love to hear some success stories from the women at CCEW, at Cummins and other industries. Is there something you can share with us today?
Yeah, sure. Happily, I would like to share the list of many such students. If we consider the corporate sector or industry, in Cummins itself, we have our alumnus Asmita Khairnar, who is at director level. Then we have Gayatri Adi, who is working at senior level in Cummins US. Apart from Cummins, we do have our student Daryani, she is a vice president persistent, or Vinita Gera, who is an IT infrastructure leader in Dell. Such many examples are there from corporate sector, but our students, they're not only shining in industry. There are some other examples also. For example, Lieutenant Colonel Preetal Parkhi, who is in a signal regiment and doing wonderful things in Jammu Kashmir area. She is working in this signal corps for many years. Then we have IS officer Dipti Kanade. She has become the director of Space Department of Government of India. Then Vindya Munde Muller. She is an entrepreneur. She has established her company in Germany. Then some other examples from academics. I would like to give the example of Tanvi Banerjee, who is a faculty member in Wright State University. Or we have Kanchan Kulkarni, who is doing wonderful research at Massachusetts Hospital in biomedical engineering.
Yeah.
So there are many such. But I would say that only the students who are reached to this leadership position, I'll not consider only them as successful students, because as we, from the beginning only, we said that the women were very less, and today also they are very less in engineering profession. So I feel that all those who are working in engineering profession and contributing to this profession, as well as they are empowered to do all these things to the society, I feel all these are successful stories. Because only reaching to the top is not only success. From where you have come from and to what level you have reached, that is also the parameter of the success. So student coming from a very rural background where probably no education has reached to the college level, from that background coming here and getting educated and doing wonderful things, I think that is also the successful story. And I would also say that continuing this in this field after a marriage, considering all family responsibility and doing all these things simultaneously, multitasking, those are also such many examples of successful things. And I really am proud of all these successful alumni.
Absolutely. And it's something to really be proud of, and also something we can constantly be motivated by. This is excellent that there's such a long list, and it's only, going to get longer and longer thanks to CCEW. Now, Dr. Shastry, the Maharshi Karve Stree Shiksha Samstha has really been the pillar upon which the CCEW stands tall and proud, right? Could you tell us something about the Bharat Ratna Maharshi Karve and his vision?
Yes, Maharshi Karve, this was the title awarded to him, and Dr. Dhondo Keshwar Karve, he was the professor of mathematics at Ferguson College, and at that time the education to women was a social taboo, and even fighting all the odds, he thought about starting an education institution for the girls, and he started with 4 widows. Today we are having 32,000 girl students taking education in our Samstha at various places. And imagine at that time, even it was a very daring step as far as the society was concerned at that time, to educate women, educate the widows and remarriage of the widows. So a lot of social cause was this behind starting of this institution. And as and when, after Dr. Dhondo Keshwar Karve, that's Bharat Ratna Maharshi Karve, the management continued, and the values and disciplines and that principles that have been set by him have been still continued. And we try to find out what new can be done into. Like if you think about 1991, starting engineering college was such a big challenge, but we started it. Obviously, good support from Cummins and society, so we could start that. Similarly, we are looking at various other diversified fields like architecture, fashion technology, nursing education. Now, recently, data science. With the help of Cummins, again we come with the mechanical department. Otherwise, there was no explicit mechanical courses for girls. So which we started in 2007 at Cummins College. And I think this is where we are also trying to find out the new avenues and programs that can be helpful for empowering women into today's life and make their life happier and the society happier. I think that is what is the only vision that Maharshi Karve have, and we have been following into that same.
Yeah, well, that vision certainly still stands true, which is what's really special about it. Final question, Dr. Khambete, can you wrap this conversation up with some advice for young girls who are looking to pursue a career in STEM?
Yeah, sure. STEM as the science, technology, engineering, it is general concept is that it's not meant for women or girls, because they have more inclination for arts and other type of things. But I think that whatever my observation, and there are many such examples, not only from Cummins College, but the women, they are quite good in mathematics. They have good logic, and therefore they can become very successful in programming and other engineering skills. they have good design abilities, and more thing is that they are hardworking and they have the natural tendency of diving deep, which makes them a very successful, so for them it's a success is possible in research area. So there are many examples now in industry, in engineering technology, that women, they are really are doing well, they are contributing, they are at higher leadership position, and therefore I think it is proved that STEM is mean for girls also. They can enter, they can take this education. After graduation, they can do whatever they want, maybe the research, maybe the corporate sector, maybe teaching. In all this, whatever the verticals, it is possible that they would reach to the higher position. And not only their domain knowledge, but they have this multitasking capabilities also. Because of that, team management and other things also, they do all these things quite efficiently. And therefore, I think the STEM can become say option number one for those students who really have this inclination towards mathematics, technology, and those who enjoy all these things. So STEM is not a main dominated field. No, I think it should not be henceforth, but it should be open to the women also.
Absolutely. Those are some very, very inspiring words. Thank you so much, Dr. Shastry, Dr. Khambete, for bringing your perspective to this episode as we celebrate this milestone. It was lovely having you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for this invitation and being part of this. That was a wonderful. Thank you.
Cummins PowerPods, the sound of celebration.
Considering the occasion, I think it's safe to say this was a very eventful episode. And hey, this is just a taste of what's to come. We are in celebration mode. I certainly am, and I feel it in the air, marking a glorious 60-year legacy. And I'm so glad we're able to recount this 60-year journey together. Remember, there's more where this came from, so stay tuned to Cummins PowerPods. Until next time, it's me, Neerja, signing off. Bye-bye.
Cummins PowerPods, 60 years of powering India in voice.